part two of Fashion Interior Design Project informationals about this one will be about our Dust to Dazzle contest. So again, quick reminder, if you are going to participate in anything 4-H related, you must be enrolled in 4-H Online prior to competing or participating. And parents, we also ask that you enroll in 4-H Online so we know that you've gone through those proper trainings. And then you'd also be covered under our insurance if anything were to happen while at a 4-H related event. So to register for 4-H, you'll go to 4-H Online. You see the link down there. You'll either create a profile or log into your family profile and then enroll your child that way. So some upcoming deadlines for our Duds to Dazzle contest. So our county contest is going to be held on March 3rd, tentatively at this moment. And then registration for that will end on February 23rd on our county webpage. And you must compete in county in order to be eligible for district. We can only send a certain amount of teams from county to district. So you must be at county in order to have a chance to go to district. The district contest will be March 6th in Llano, and registration for that will close on March 11th on 4-H Online. And once again, you must compete at county to be able to participate at district. So for this contest specifically, the only age divisions that can participate are going to be juniors, which are 3rd to 5th grade, intermediates, which are 6th to 8th grade, and seniors, which are 9th through 12th grade. So before we get into what Duds to Dazzle is, for those of you that have participated in Duds to Dazzle before, here are just some major changes to keep in mind as we are getting into the year or the time of year for Duds to Dazzle. So one of the contest objectives has changed to include the environmental impacts of the fashion industry. How does fast fashion affect the environment has been added to the list of contest resources. Team sizes have dropped from the max of 5 members to 4. So if you have a 5-man team, you do have to drop to a 4-man team before our county contest. Teams must use 2 items from the closet. Foam paintbrushes and Mod Podge have been deleted from the sewing kit. And then the Duds to Dazzle score sheet has been revised just a bit. Team prep is now 45%, and team presentation is 55% of the score. So this means there's going to be more of an emphasis on the quality and overall appearance of the final product and not just getting a product put together. So as I mentioned, the team basics for this event is going to be 3 to 4 members. You have 60 minutes to construct and clean up an item or create an item. And this is just a list of the contest resources. So to give you an understanding of what Duds to Dazzle is, it is kind of like Project Runway or Iron Chef, but with sewing. So the kids are given one item that they then have to recreate into one of the 3 different categories that they're assigned. So with that one item and their access to a closet, they are going to refashion a piece of fabric, a pillowcase, whatever it may be, into a new item. So just here's a list of all the resource materials that are provided. So the only one that's provided the day of contest is a planning and presentation worksheet. And then as you can see, there's a long list of resources below that, and those are to be used only at practice. They will not have access to that at the district contest. So as I mentioned, Duds to Dazzle falls into 3 categories. So when the kids are given their starter item, they'll also receive a piece of paper that says what category they've got to recreate that starter item into. So we have wearable, so that's going to be clothing that is suitable to be worn by either people or pets. So that could be a shirt, coat, vest, dress, costume, dog vest, whatever it may be. Then we have our accessory and jewelry category, which is an article or set of articles that can be added to an outfit to make it more useful, versatile, or attractive. So that can be an apron, earrings, purse, headband, hat, belt, necklace, etc. Then our last category is going to be a non-wearable. So this is any item that is not suitable to be worn, which is a pillow, towel, jewelry pouch, cell phone, iPad case, stuffed animal, dog clothing, Christmas stockings, all of those things. So again, they'll be given one item, so it might be a pillowcase They might be in the accessory jewelry category, and then they have to create something that would fit that category using that pillowcase. So as I mentioned a little bit earlier, the sewing kit has been updated a bit. So please, please, please make sure that you're using the most updated sewing kit list. So each team will bring a sewing kit containing only one of each of the following items that are listed on here, unless a different quantity is noted. And a team can choose to not include all of the items, but they can't include anything additional from these items. So if you don't want to have this entire list in your box, that is perfectly okay. I would suggest having almost all of this in your box, but that is up to each individual coach and each individual team. So within Duds to Dazzle, there are two scored portions within this contest. So the first one is going to be during preparation and cleanup. So as I mentioned, the teams will have 60 minutes to construct an item, plan a presentation, and clean up. At least 50% of their final product must be visible of the starter item. So if they have a pillowcase and they've grabbed all of this stuff from the closet and they've created a skirt, 50% of that skirt needs to be from that starter item. They'll have access to closet items, so that could include zippers, buttons, additional fabrics, anything that they could help embellish their starter item to create whatever their end goal is. As I mentioned, teams are judged during this time and scored during this time, so it is very important that the teams are working together, they're following safety rules, all of that. Cleanup is included within this prep time. So by that 60 minutes, you have to have an item created and cleaned up as well. The only items that are allowed to be left out are going to be considered your hot items. So that's going to be your iron, your glue gun, anything that's gotten hot while you've been preparing your item. Then the next portion that is scored by judges is going to be the presentation portion. So during that presentation, they'll have 5 minutes to talk about their item that they've created, and then 3 minutes for questions. Each teammate must participate in the presentation with at least 3 having some type of speaking role. So in order to get full points on both prep and presentation, make sure you are looking at this scorecard. It will lay out exactly what those kids, what your team is supposed to be talking about and what they should be focused on during prep. So as you can see within team prep, they're being scored on the design process. So did they have a logical plan in order? Did they have steps? Did they come up with a plan prior to going to the closet? Safety precautions. So did they watch for cords when they were using hot glue? Did they watch their fingers? Sewing machine? Did they sew at a slow level? They'll be watching for teamwork. So if your team is either yelling at each other or not agreeing, they'll be watching for that. And then the last is the use of materials. So you'll see that they needed to utilize a minimum of 2 items from the supply closet. They created something innovative with the startup item. At least 50% of the final product was made from the startup item. And then, of course, the product fits the category. So if you're creating a product that doesn't fit the category, you are likely going to lose a decent amount of points within that portion of the scorecard. Then during the presentation, they will be looking at the quality and overall appearance of the final product. So that's going to be 25 points. So again, we're going to be working on creating nice finished products, not just getting a product out there. And then the second portion will be product sales presentation or pitch. So just the overall effectiveness of communication skills. And they do need to include the following, which is sustainable fashion fact, their target audience, estimated price per unit, materials used and construction steps, and then fiber characteristics and care. So if you're covering everything within your score sheet and it's all accurate, then you will be able to get that max amount of points. And again, the breakdown of the scorecard has changed a bit. So it's 45% on team prep, 55% of the score will come from that team presentation. So I know that was a quick overview of our Duds to Dazzle contest. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. You can give me a call here at the office, send me an email, or send me a text if you have my cell phone. Either way, I will be gladly willing to take on any questions you might have, and I look forward to having y'all in our Duds to Dazzle contest.